The thing that's going to make your e-commerce brand more profitable has nothing to do with some fancy growth hack or some Facebook ads hack that's going to 10x your sales overnight. Look, I would love to sit here and say that. It would make our job a lot easier, but it's just simply not the reality. Look at this. The average e-commerce brand right now is barely surviving on 10 to 15% profit margins. And that's if they're lucky. A large amount of the stores that we work with when we first start with them are only making about 5 to 8%, which is why they're constantly stuck in that feast or famine cycle, thinking that they just have to spend more on ads, working 24/7 just to stay afloat. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the exact reasons that your e-commerce brand's profit margins are so low right now. And more importantly, the exact strategy that we've used to help over 50 e-commerce brands improve their profit margins. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to transform your store from barely scraping by to actually getting the profit margins that you want. All right, so mistake number one is that you are overspending on customer acquisition. The first and most basic reason that you're probably not seeing the profit margins you want is because you're just spending too much to acquire each customer. We see this all the time with the brands that we're working with. They're dumping money into Google ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, sometimes even TikTok ads, and they're trying to get their cost per acquisition as low as they can. But the issue is either their ad agency just isn't doing a good enough job, or they've got an in-house team that's just not producing enough creatives to actually test enough to see a low cost per acquisition. The average CPA in many niches right now is skyrocketed to, even $30 to $50, even higher than that in many others. So because of that, a lot of brands are barely even breaking even on that sale, or even worse, they're going in the red on that first sale. It's very common nowadays. So a lot of brands are essentially acquiring customers at a loss and then, just hoping they come back and enjoy the product. But here's the kicker. Without a proper retention marketing strategy, 70 to 80% of those leads will probably never come back. We had a skincare client come to us last year who was spending about $40,000 a month on ads, and they're making about $110,000 per month in revenue. But when we actually dug deeper into their numbers, their cost of goods sold was about 35%, their shipping was another 12%, and then they had fulfillment, software, team costs. And believe it or not, they were actually losing money every month while wondering why they weren't growing. So here's how to fix it. Instead of only focusing on ad metrics and obsessing over how much more you can spend on your ads, we simply need to be caring more about what we're putting into our lifetime value of our customers. So there's two metrics we have to pay attention to here. Your customer LTV, lifetime value, and your cost to acquire a customer, your CAC. You want your customer lifetime value to be at least 2 to 3x what your cost to acquire a customer is. And I'm talking bare minimum here. That's if you want to grow sustainably. And the way you increase that lifetime value is with proper retention marketing channels, which brings me to the next mistake. Mistake number two, you are neglecting your email marketing. Now, when I say neglecting, that looks a little bit different for each brand. Some brands that reach out to us are literally just sending emails out when they get around to it. And other ones are regularly sending emails out and they've got a few flows set up, but it's all just super mediocre and they're not really putting their full effort into it. But the truth is, email marketing should be generating at least 25% of your total revenue, ideally 35 to 40%. Why is this? Because email marketing has the highest return on investment out of every marketing channel. An average of $36 as a return for every $1 spent. No other channel even comes close to that. So as a good example of this, we worked with a training company that was generating about 8% of their total revenue from email marketing. And within 30 days of implementing our new email marketing strategy, we had over $30K a month in new revenue coming in for them just from emails. And that is a massive profit margin hitting their bottom line because they had already paid to acquire those customers. So if you know that your email marketing strategy right now is just not up to par, here's how to fix it. So you need a comprehensive strategy that includes 4 main things. Number one, you need a complete flow ecosystem. This is usually about 10 to 15 total automated flows, not just welcome and abandonment sequences. Number two, you need strategic campaigns that balance value with promotional content. Third crucial reason that your profit margins are not where you want them to be is because your AOV, your average order value, is just not where it needs to be. This is very basic math, but it's shocking how many brand owners actually just completely ignore it. If your cost to acquire a customer is $40, and you have an AOV of about $50 with a 40% profit margin, after your acquisition costs, you're actually losing $20 in that order. But if you increase that AOV to $75, you're now only losing $10 in that first purchase. And if you increase your AOV to $100, you're now breaking even on that first purchase. So in order to fix this, here are 3 proven ways to increase your AOV. Number one is to create compelling bundles that essentially offer better value than a singular product purchase. Another nice hack is offering free shipping at an order value that's about 30% 20% higher than your current AOV. And then a massive one that we recently started implementing is one-click upsells. So based on what that person purchased, you can hit them with a one-click upsell to another product or a bigger product or a lower product. And if they don't buy that, they then get a downsell to some other product. Those one-click upsells alone can have a massive impact on your AOV. Mistake number 4, your customer return rate is abysmal. This is a pretty obvious one, but the fourth reason your margins probably just aren't where you want to be is because people are getting your product and just not coming back for more. Like I referenced earlier, a lot of brand owners just sell their house and put money into ads because that's all they care about, but they kind of just neglect the retention side of the business. It actually costs 5 to 7 times more to acquire a customer than it does to retain one. For example, one of our clients was seeing a customer return rate of just 15% before working together. And after implementing our retention strategy for them, that number jumped up to 38%, which spread out their customer acquisition costs across many different purchases. So the key to improving your customer retention is with a few different things. We like to call it a multi-channel strategy, and it all starts with your post-purchase email sequences. Most brands have a very lackluster post-purchase email journey, and that's the main reason why the retention is so bad. The next one is strategic SMS campaigns that kind of engage people based on where they're at in their buying journey. And the third one, a big one that we recently started implementing, is loyalty programs that incentivize repeat purchases. When we implemented these things for Habit Nest, we saw their email revenue increase 87% in just 30 days. And that was without relying on some massive discount or sale. All right, mistake number 5, the final one, you do not have a cohesive multi-channel strategy. Most e-commerce brands will kind of treat each of their marketing channels as a separate entity. For example, their email team has zero connection to their ad team, or their social media team isn't pulling from the email marketing whatsoever. Overall, this just creates a very disjointed customer experience and it leaves a ton of money on the table. We brought on a recent client that had different agencies obviously handling different sections of their marketing, but none of them were communicating with each other, so it's just a mess of conflicting opinions and pieces of content going out, and it's just a mess. And overall, that just led to a lot of missed opportunities. When all of your channels are working together and really do sound like they're all coming from the same company, your conversion rates go up and you obviously make more money and more profit. And that is how to dramatically increase your e-commerce store's profitability. Now, if you follow everything that I just told you about to the T, there's no doubt in my mind, you'll see a massive increase in your profit margins. With this video, you essentially have the blueprint that you need to get started. However, if you decide to go ahead and implement all of this yourself with zero help, it's probably not going to go very well. And when speaking about email marketing specifically, it literally took us years to perfect our system. And while I've given you a shortcut in this video, there's going to be a lot of bottlenecks and constraints that pop up if you try to just implement all this without any guidance. Overhauling your entire email strategy, as we reviewed in this video, is a really big deal, so it has to be done right. It's much better to shortcut the entire process by skipping all the lost opportunities that you had while you tried to figure it out on your own. However, if you want to avoid all that pain and the lost opportunity cost of missing out on life-changing money from having the correct email strategy in place, with the help of people who are in the trenches doing this right now, then click the first link in the description to book a quick call with me. On that call, I'll analyze your current situation to figure out how we can boost your email marketing revenue, even if you have a really basic setup right now. Especially if you've tried to go all in on email marketing before with poor results, or you're simply tired of wasting money on customer acquisition with no proper retention system on the back end. However, we can only really work with brands that are doing at least 50K a month in total store revenue, who are serious about scaling their profits, taking massive action, and making a big impact on the brand. This is not for people who just want to watch more YouTube videos or try like the latest marketing hack of the month. So if you are ready to build the profitable brand that you've been looking for, click that first link in the description, book a quick call with me, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and talking about how we can help. Remember, every day you wait with a bad retention marketing system is essentially another day of not maximizing the profits that you could be getting on all the customers that you're bringing in. So I hope you found the video valuable. I'll talk to you soon.